All right? Everybody chilling? How's everybody doing? I didn't really feel like streaming today, but I said, you know what? I got to keep up with a schedule. You know, for years I've been saying I want a set schedule, and I never can really keep up with it. I've been painting the house, so been busy, going to the gym every day. I'm hungry all the time for the most part, I think. Pretty sore. But, you know, we got another pretty busy week in the sport. Over on Top Rank on ESPN on Friday, you got Shakur Stevenson versus Robson Conceicao. Saturday, you got Joyce versus Joseph Parker. Saturday morning, it's going to be Floyd Mayweather versus Mikuru Asakura over on RIZIN. You even got Chris Cyborg getting into the boxing ring. It's very busy. It's busy as shit. Let's go look at the, let me pull the schedule up real quick. So, you know, I'm a little bit out of the loop. But now I'm back. So I'm locked in. I'm back on my boxing shit now. Shakur Stevenson, Robson Conceicao. Keyshawn Davis versus Omar Tienda. Shushu Carrington, Jose Arguel. Okay, prospect, you know, card. Okay. All right. Is this ESPN? It's on it's on a regular ESPN. Okay, that's Friday night. Saturday. Joe Joyce, Joseph Parker, Amanda Serrano versus Sarah Mockfood. Interested in that card. We're going to talk about that in more detail later on. Over on The Zone, that's going to be on ESPN Plus. Good. So it's a busy day on ESPN Plus. Over on The Zone, you have Maxie Hughes versus Kid Galahad and Hannah Rankin versus Terry Harper. I forgot. What was supposed to be the main event? What was supposed to be the main event of that? Mauricio Lara. It's supposed to be Mauricio Lara versus the guy who got the upset. What's his name? Lee Wood. My man Lee Wood. Then you got Floyd Mayweather versus, what time is this? I think this is going to be really early in the morning for me. I'm going to be busy as shit on Saturday. I'm going to be busy as hell. Let me see what time that is, because it's over in Japan. I'm going to be busy as hell. 11 p.m. Oh, so this is going into Sunday. Oh, shit. Here it is right here. It's going to be going into Sunday. So 11 o'clock. And the main event's not going to be until like fucking 4 a.m. I remember Floyd made us wait till like 6 a.m. All right, so we're going to be busy. And yes, I'm covering this shit. That's Floyd Mayweather, damn it. All right. Chris Cyborg is also on Fight TV. What time does her fight start? What time does your fight start? Cyborg. Where is it at? I don't want to pay for all this shit. Where's Cyborg's fight? Y'all see it? What event is that called? It says Fight TV, 25th. So that's Sunday. She fighting on Sunday. There we are. How much is this? All right, cool. I can do that. For those who are interested, you got a Chris Cyborg getting up into the ring. She's trying to get some of that boxing money. All right, so it's basically, it's the last big fight weekend of the month. Here's the boxing schedule, by the way, Dan Rayfields. I'll put it in the chat. Yeah, Floyd's fight is 3 rounds. I believe it's only, 3 rounds. Yeah. Last big fight weekend of the month. October's pretty heavy, especially October the 15th. I don't know how I'm going to do it. Look what we got on October the 15th. Ooh, this card is really erotic too. I like this card. October the 8th, Sebastian Fundora versus Carlos Ocampo. That's some erotic. Ooh, I like that. Just like that. Big J messaged me. We got an interview from Dennis Hogan, who's fighting October the 8th, also over in Australia. October the 15th, Wilder versus Helenius. Haney versus Cambosos. Big J's going to be at that. Shields versus Savannah Marshall. Liam Parrow versus Brock Jarvis. It's going to be busy. All significant cards. All significant cards. Something else is October the 15th, too. But yeah, what's going on, man? How you guys been? You guys all right? Canelo Golovkin 3, it was just, it tired me out. Let me tell you what, I tried to watch it again last night, and it put me to bed. It put me fast to sleep. I had such a good rest. I think Canelo's a little burnt out. That's what I think. Because it's not that he looked like shit. He ain't look like shit. It's just that, like, Golovkin looked like shit. So, which means Canelo kind of looked like shit too, because it's like, bro, he's right there. Why don't you get him out of there? Like, Golovkin really didn't do nothing. Did anybody watch the fight back? Is it just me? Like, he really didn't do nothing. And then they tried to rob him. They tried to rob Canelo. Like, bro, ew. No, even the finish, he wasn't even doing anything. Golovkin, Golovkin started slow, finished all right. I don't think so, bro. But that's your opinion. I got a bad taste in my mouth from that fight. And the card wasn't really good. But, Canelo do look a little burnt out. What is it? 4 fights he's had in 16 months, something like that. And also, he pretty much said that he's probably not going to be coming back until next September. He's probably going to be off for a year. He's got some cartilage issues in his wrist. He said he had it since the Caleb Plant fight, that he can barely hold a glass. And word on the curb is, he got the weight off, but that 168 pounds ain't been coming off too easy. Yes, that is true. Brandon, Canelo does have a lot of miles on him. Look, for example, look at the resume. When did he turn pro? 16, something like that. 58, 2-2 with 39 KOs. Let's go read off the resume. Let's just start. Look, for example, this was a quick turnaround right here. When in December 2021, even the turnaround between Danny Jacobs, for example, he fought Danny Jacobs, then in May, fought Kovalev in November. The pandemic, he fought Conor Smith the end of 2020. 3 months later, he fought Avni Yildirim, but of course it's Avni Yildirim, he can do that. Then came back in May of 2021, November of 2021, May of 2022. Like, we need fighters fighting like that. Thank you for the super chat, Leonardo Vasquez. Golovkin will defend against Lara soon. Thoughts on that? Yeah, well, I've been predicting that. I talked about it in detail in my post-fight content, that I feel that for one, the WBA ordered Golovkin to fight Irslandi Lara. That's ordered, or it's that he's saying he's going back to 160. So it's either going to have to fight Lara or he's going to have to drop his belt. He's also a network free agent or a broadcaster free agent. So my personal opinion, I think he should go to Showtime for a few fights. Because they'll pay him. He'll be on pay-per-view. They'll smack him on pay-per-view against Irslandi Lara so fucking fast. And then they'll say, all right, you fight him, then you fight Charlo on pay-per-view. That's PBC I'm sure they would do that. Think about it. And then that's a path to undisputed. That's a path to undisputed for Golovkin. I mean, Golovkin and Lara and Charlo. But, or will he fight Jaime Munguia? You know, Golovkin has that WBA and that IBF title. He got the WBA from Murata. IBF was when he fought Derevianchenko, right? Let me check real quick and pull up the resumes. So yeah, we're going to be here streaming twice on Saturday. We're going to be streaming during the main event of Joyce and Joseph Parker, which I'm going to be starting my fight week content. I'm actually starting today, but I'm going to be starting like my full fight week shit for that card tomorrow. The same thing with Shakur versus Robson Conceicao. That's going to be on ESPN. So I'm going to be busy this weekend. So I'm just telling you now, like I took off a couple of days after Canelo versus Golovkin. I'm back. So it's going to be a lot of content on boxing this week, you know? So I'm just getting this stream out the way, you know, so I can get the wheels turning, you know, because I've been painting and I've been going to the gym. And let me tell you, T Street is 9 pounds from losing 50 pounds since May. I've lost fucking 41 pounds since May. I was a no good, gluttonous, fat. I mean, I was told I look like a football player. I'm 6'3", so I was 298 pounds. So, you know, even though, you know, I was a big guy, you know, the women loved it. The women loved it. But I don't want to be fat no more. I don't want to be a big guy no more. I'm gonna get back to my regular weight. Like even now, like my hoodie is like swimming on me. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. This shit's like swimming on me. So I'm a little off right now, you know, because I be so hungry. Jeez. You know, and I cut another 500 calories to try to get, we're going to get back to boxing. Let me just vent, man. Let me just vent. I'm doing about 15,000 or so steps a day. The goal I have is, I'm doing about 8 miles a day. 50 minutes on the treadmill, 25 minutes on the exercise bike, 1 mile around the indoor track, 30 to 45 minutes of weight training, another half an hour of stretching. Whenever I get a chance to take my resistance bands, you know, pump up a little bit, I see like, yo, athletes, man, and I'm not no fucking athletes, but like, bro, like you gotta do a lot to lose weight. So once I get to my desired weight, I'm gonna see how I look, you know, at 250, but I want to be around 240 or so. So once I get down to my weight, then that's when I'm gonna, you know, start building up my muscle and just control my eating. I became a foodie. I used to go to, I'm not gonna say I used to. I have like 12 million photo views on Google. I'm in the top 10% of food reviewers or eatery restaurant reviewers on Google. No bullshit. So I was on some Gordo shit, but fine shit. Like, you know, like, I must have had maybe five tomahawk steaks in probably the last 18 months. Like I was like, you know, racks of ribs and big ass fucking seafood platters and shit. Seafood fucking towers. You know, that was my thing for a few months. Like for about a year, I was going to different restaurants, you know, trying different seafood towers. But no, you know, now down to 3 meals a day, 2 snacks. What is it? 96 ounces of water. But anyway, let's get back to some boxing. So, what was I talking about? Joyce and Joseph Parker. Was that what I was talking about? What fight did we start on? I was talking about the boxing schedule, how it's going to be busy this weekend. So the fights of the week, once again, is going to be on Top Rank on ESPN and ESPN Plus. It's going to be Shakur Stevenson versus Robson Conceicao. I'm going to be here streaming during the main event. I haven't even looked at the fight week schedule yet, but since it's on Friday, I can only imagine that the press conference is tomorrow, right? Jeez. Yeah, the press conference is tomorrow. So we're going to be streaming during the press conference. That's when I'm going to do my full fight week preview on the whole card. Okay. On Saturday on ESPN Plus, remember it's over in the UK, so it's a midday card for us here in the States. You have Joyce taking on Joseph Parker for the WBO interim to be the mandatory for Alexander Usyk. That's a BT Sport boxing pay-per-view. That's pay-per-view over in the UK, right? I believe it is. Then later on that night, you have Floyd Mayweather returning 11 p.m. Saturday night because it's going to be a Sunday morning fight for us here in the States, meaning the main event. Floyd Mayweather in RIZIN versus Mikuru Asakura. And dude's got some moxie with him. He's got some spunk. I didn't like how Floyd Mayweather bodyguard pushed him, though. That was like, why would you do that? What are you doing? Too much attention to yourself. Also, midday card over on the Zone, Maxie Hughes versus Kid Galahad, and Hannah Rankin versus Terry Harper. That's a 154. I'm looking forward to that. Ooh, that's going to be sexy. Also on Sunday, you have Chris Cyborg in the boxing ring in 10 rounds against Simone Da Silva. And I've seen the Simone Da Silva woman fight. What happened to my chat? Where'd it go? I've seen a Simone Da Silva chick fight before, but I'm not sure where. So it's going to be busy. It's going to be busy. What's her box rec? Is this her? I've seen her fight before. I know that hairstyle anywhere. 17 and 22. Damn. Damn. Okay. Well, this is Cyborg getting a light touch. I guess that's what that is. She's getting a little light touch. I don't know what happened to the chat. Let me see. Testing. Let me see what's going on. Did I fuck something up? Oh, there it is. Okay. Just reset. So, okay, I did see her fight before. I saw her fight Mi Choi, I think. And man, she fought Amanda Serrano, Choi, Cornejo, Shelly Vincent. Damn, where's Shelly Vincent at? Okay, yeah, I've seen this woman fight before. I was just seeing if Shelly Vincent's still kicking around. Oh, she's still out here fighting. Okay, she better keep it going. She can probably get, big fight. All right, I'm going to be on some, I'm going to cover these fights for you guys. I'm going to do it. So let's go talk about Joyce. Really? No, let's talk about Canelo first. So we did get a chance to look at the scorecards. I don't want to talk about the same thing over and over again as I talked about in my stream after the fight and the video I put up a couple of days ago. But Canelo had some issues with his wrist, and he wants to get surgery. And also he says, he wants to rest. He hasn't had any time to rest. So I'm thinking that Canelo may not be coming back in May because he kind of hinted at it at the post-fight press conference. In fact, I might as well just pull up the clip for you. Just the clip, not the whole thing. And in my opinion, I think he should, because, he looked a little burnt out to me against Golovkin. He looked a little burnt out. Here, let me pull this up for those who didn't get to see the post-fight press conference. And also, if he doesn't come back until next year, well, for one, whenever he comes back, he's going to come back to a mandatory. But if he doesn't come back next year, maybe it'll force these maybe it'll force these PBC guys to fight each other. Like, that shit's getting annoying. And David Benavidez has put out some interview, and he talked about it. I'm going to pull up the quote for you. First, let me find what Canelo has to say about his injury.
5, 6.
Where were they given to you? Where are they? On your... Okay. Very good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Thank you, Dan. his ability.
Here it is right here. We'll start right here. For those who didn't hear about Canelo's wrist injury.
It's okay, later. And
Reynoso, Chepo as well, over to the floor for questions for the champion and the team. Yes, Keith.
Thanks, guys. Canelo, can you tell us more about your hand injury? When you hurt your hand, was it hurt going into the fight? And
Yeah,
how did it get worse during the fight?
hairs everywhere. I had these issues since the Khaled Plan fight. So, and I like, it's okay, later. And then I have started really bad. And I need surgery.
How badly did it hurt you during the fight?
Really bad.
It's broken, right? You think it's broken?
No, it's not broken. It's like a
Meniscus.
meniscus.
It's a wrist injury.
Yeah,
Wrist.
but it's not broken. It's my wrist. You need like a clean
ligaments
meniscus.
in
It's
the
like
wrist.
something like that. Derek, can you explain, please?
Yeah,
Come on.
Canelo, how long do you think that it'll keep you out? I mean, do you have an idea if you have surgery, how long it might keep you out of the
Keith,
ring?
You can ask this
Oh,
is
sorry.
doctor. Yeah, come sit. And explain the injury. So, Keith.
Cell has a TFCC tear, which is a piece of cartilage within the wrist, which affects the body's ability to mobilize that joint without feeling impingement and sharp pain.
If the surgery, how long you out? Training.
If he has a surgery, depending on what the surgeon decides, probably 6 to 8 to 12 weeks, depending on the rehabilitation, if it's successful.
Thank you.
But I'm gonna take my time. My body needs, and last year I fought 4 times in 11 months, so that's why. But I need to take my time a little bit, maybe in May, September, I don't know. But I need to take my time.
Yeah, it looks like May is done. That don't sound like, he don't sound confident in May because he's got to have surgery. What did he say? 8 to 12 weeks, something like that. Then you got to do rehabilitation. And, that's not the type of injury you want to rush back from. I think May is cooked. I did look it up, just a brief little, Google search of a TFCC tear. It's this little ligament right here. It's torn. So I can understand, that probably look painful, especially if you're a boxer. You see what I'm saying? But I'm not a motherfucking doctor. But I'm just saying, it looks like he's going to be out. And let me pull up the mandatory situation before we move on to Golovkin. He hasn't ruled out fighting Dimitri Bivol in the rematch, but he's basically saying, and he's been saying it all week, that he feels that Zurdo Ramirez is going to beat Dimitri Bivol. Oh, my bad. I don't really have a prediction on Bivol versus Zurdo next, because Zurdo can box. He's not just a power puncher. But one thing that's going to, when I match up, even though Jesse Hart's a tough fighter, still Jesse Hart gave Gilberto Ramirez a lot of problems. And I don't think that Jesse Hart would give Dimitri Bivol those same problems. You see what I'm saying? So Canelo's mandatory right now. I believe John Ryder is his only mandatory. Now, I'm interested if the WBC, by the way, download the WBC app powered by the Vive Network, link down below in the description box. I'm interested to see if the WBC is going to pull their franchise card, because they'll be like, well, Canelo's injured, so we made him the franchise champion, and then elevate David Benavidez to champion. Now, that's going to piss a lot of people off if they do that. That's why I don't think they want to pull the trigger, but they can do it. Zach Parker and Demetrius Andrade, they have a purse bid coming up. And that's to be the mandatory for Canelo for the WBO. Caleb Plant and Anthony Dirrell is an eliminator, but not a final eliminator. And the winner of that is going to be expected is William Skull. How come I've never heard of this guy? How come I've never heard of him? I got to watch some tape because he's ranked number 1 by the IBF. And normally they won't rank you number 1 unless you're mandatory or he's probably in the final eliminator spot, I think. So it's very likely that the winner of to be mandatory for the IBF for Canelo, high probability. I think I'm pretty certain that Caleb Plant and Anthony Dirrell are going to have to fight him to be the IBF. And John Ryder, who was the former interim champion for the WBA, isn't the mandatory for David Morrell. John Ryder is in Eddie Hearn's back pocket for that Canelo UK fight. But eventually the WBA has to do something. So Canelo's in pretty good shape, like with his belts. And I won't be surprised if he drops, any of these belts, because he'll be like, look, I fought, I won them and I defended them. You see what I'm saying? I won't be surprised if he drops the belt. And as far as Golovkin is concerned, he has the WBA and the IBF. The only mandatory he has right now is Erislandy Lara. That is his mandatory. And then Esquiva Falco and Michael Zarafa may be ordered to be his IBF mandatory. Now, Zanzibek Alimhanallah is the WBO champion. He's vacated Demetrius Andrade, so he is the champion. Jaime Munguia is after a belt. Now, here's what the zone can do. The zone can offer Golovkin versus Jaime Munguia. If he wants to sign back with the zone, But me personally, as I'm looking at the rankings, I think politically and financially, it's in Golovkin's best interest to call up Al Heyman or PBC Steven Espinoza. Tom Loeffler is no longer the promoter of Golovkin. He more acts as like the advisor. He's doing that shit now. Because if Golovkin goes over to PBC, then they're going to put him on pay-per-view. Him versus Lara. I'm interested in that fight. I like that. But remember, I'm a low-down degenerate, but I would pay for that gladly. I wanted this fight years ago. I would do it. And then the winner of that, especially if it's Golovkin, goes on to fight Jamal Charlo, who desperately needs a big fight or significant fight. By the way, I hope everything okay with him, man. He's going through some shit. Clearly, with his wife or his girlfriend or whoever, the mother of his kids. And it's like, even though there was some bad blood, I'm still a Charlo fan. I'm not going to tell the story again, but he thought I was Team Hatley. I'm not Team Hatley. And then also he sent me to hell at a post-fight press conference. He took my soul. Like, he was like, who are you? And I was like, T-Street from Fight. He was like, never heard of you. I was like, oh, shit. Oh, shit. But anyway, the past is the past. I think we kind of have like a little bit of a delicate truce because I did interview him again after that. I don't remember what fight though. But, anyway. Yeah, I did hear about David Morrell's next fight coming up. How do you pronounce that guy's name? Eidos? Yabasanuli? I probably done butchered it, right? And I'm pretty sure I've seen this guy fight before, too. Is he under the Kazakh stable of Golovkin? 16-0 with 11 KOs, currently ranked number 1 by the WBA at 168. I don't think I've seen this guy fight before. Maybe I've seen some highlights, but I don't think I've seen him fight before. Oh, boy. Yeah, it's Canelo's the number 1 boxer. Him and Anthony Joshua bring in a lot of money. These sanctioning bodies are not going to want to strip him. Trust me. Trust me. But Golovkin has some options because if he stays for the zone, if he goes fight by fight, then, you got that Jaime Munguia fight out there. Even if he wants to go work with top rank for a fight or two, he can try to, capture that WBO from Ali Hanallah. Chris Eubank Jr., if he beats Conor Ben, he's at 160. So Golovkin's got some options if he stays with the zone. But it's all about if he wants to, really try to go after to be undisputed. Because right now, if I'm being honest, he's kind of went down some tiers to me. That performance he had made me question now if he can beat Charlo. I think he can beat Arizlane De Lara because Arizlane De Lara don't got no pop on his punches, even though he's been knocking people out lately. But his legs are kind of gone, But I'm not confident he beats Jamal Charlo. Even though Jamal Charlo struggled with Montiel, who's back soon, I'm just not confident. I'm not sure how many fights Canelo has left with his the zone contract. I believe he may have one more, yes. I'm not sure. But I think I did hear that number. But, yeah. Anyway, how do you guys feel about Joe Joyce and Joseph Parker? I like Joe Joyce. I think he can beat Joe Parker just off of pressure. One thing, though, Joe Parker can box. We saw him play the back foot against Anthony Joshua. He can fight off the jab. But Joe Joyce's pressure is just relentless. By the way, shout out to Ben Shalom and Frank Warren for getting this fight done and not letting the BT Sports, Sky Sports thing get in the way, because I thought this fight was going to be dead because of that. I don't know why my chat keeps disappearing off the screen. But I'm digging this fight. And the winner is supposed to be Alexander Usyk's mandatory because it's an interim title. 14-0 with 13 KOs. Joe Joyce, 37 years old, the juggernaut. Last fight, I forgot I covered that fight. I covered all of these fights. The Christian Hammer, Carlos Takam fight, he definitely needed a big fight after those two fights. I had predicted he would be able to beat Daniel Dubois. I'm still not high on Daniel Dubois, but that's the type of loss that's going to help Daniel Triple D as he gets more experience. Joseph Parker's only 30 years old, 30-2 with 21 KOs, 30 years old. He's accomplished, some big fights for his age. The two fights with Derek Chisora, yeah. Junior Fa, that was a nice solid fight, by the way. But then again, Junior Fa ended up getting sparked by Lucas Brown. Dylan White, Anthony Joshua, Huey Fury, Andy Ruiz, Carlos Takam. Very, very good resume. And as I said, for him to be 6'4", he really can box, especially if he's in shape. 240 is where he should be coming into the ring at, for real, for real. But, expect for him to try to box circles around Joe Joyce. But Joe Joyce has an engine on him, and he just keeps coming forward. That's why they call him the juggernaut. So, I do have some concerns. Like, I'm picking Joe Joyce. I would be really impressed if he would be able to beat him if Joseph Parker was to beat him. But also, he is the best overall boxer that Joe Joyce has fought. Like, by far. Let's go check out the undercard. Because I started the stream a little late, so I can't stay on long, unfortunately. And then tomorrow, I'll be back fresh. Michael Magnesi. And I forgot how to pronounce Anthony Kakarsi. I forgot how to pronounce his name. Damn. Amanda Serrano versus Sarah Mockfood. What weight class is this woman in? 126. Okay. I mean, kind of card. But listen, guys, it's 7 o'clock. My bad. I got to get up out of here. I will be back tomorrow during the press conference for Shakur Stevenson and Robson Conceicao, and then we'll talk a little bit more from there. But I apologize. I really got to get up out of here. Thanks for watching. Teach you.